we're talking about brokering today. Most of the time I don't talk about brokering because I've said many times to you guys, like, who am I to teach you brokering when, yes, I brokered, but technically speaking, I didn't do it right. But after talking with my biz bestie, we had a discussion, and the shady side of me is like, y'all got people out here teaching y'all all kinds of shit that ain't even true, right? So I do feel like if there's people in my audience who want to hear the brokering from me, that doesn't mean I can't tell you how to do it the right way just because I didn't do it the right way. Right? So I do know how to go get the bonding. I do know how to go and get the operating authority. So I'm not going to allow that to stop me from helping you guys. Because one of the things that pisses me off is I'm kind of a stalker. And so I do buy other people's classes. And sometimes I buy these classes and I see how much y'all pay for them and I see what y'all get for them. And it's upsetting me and my homegirls. Okay? Like, for example, one of the brokering classes I signed up for, half of the videos are literally scrolling the DOT website. You can go and read the DOT website. Why do you need a video scrolling the DOT website, right? So we're not doing that. So I'm going to share with you guys what I know about brokering and all of that good stuff. Like I said, on July 29th, it's going to be a long one. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. It's going to be a long one. I would say between 12 and 4 p.m. It's my Brokering 101 Masterclass. So it's not going to be, I won't say it's not going to be high level, but it is a 101. So those of you all who don't know anything about it and you want the full Monty, the full picture of how to do brokering the way I did it, then you're going to need to go to BlackSmallBiz.com/brokering. BlackSmallBiz.com/brokering. Somebody could type that in the chat. That would be fantastic. And thank you guys so much for the hearts. Please give me hearts. When you give me hearts while I'm on here running my mouth, it tells Instagram and it tells TikTok, honey, that the information is good and it pushes it out to more people. So share it to anyone who might need the info. Give me hearts, honey. Just tap that screen. If you got a spare finger, just tap that screen for me. That would be fabulous. Okay. So before I cut the live stream off a few minutes ago, I said I was going to tell you guys why I like brokering and why it is a good option, even though I do not cover it in my Truckless Coins program. So before I do that, if this is your first time seeing me live, put a 2 in the chat. If this is your first time seeing me live, I'm BJ Phillips. I created the Black Small Biz platform to help Black people make more money in trucking. Specifically, honey, people that look like me, Black women. Because when we got into this trucking industry, there was not a lot of people that looked like me. And I caught a lot of hell, honey, trying to break into the industry and do my thing. And so when I started this platform, it was 2 things. One, because nobody knew about the minority certification program. And that program literally changed my life. So I wanted to make sure that people would know that this certification is available. So you hear me talk about that a lot. The second thing is I wanted to share my take on the trucking industry because, again, there wasn't a lot of people that looked like me, and when we got started, there wasn't a lot of people sharing information like there is now. So that's who I am. On my Black Small Biz platform, I talk about ways you can make money without having to own a truck, buy a truck, get a driver, have a CDL, right? Typically speaking, those ways to make money do not include brokering or dispatching because those are not truckless business models. Right? But today, I'm going to talk to you guys about brokering because it's a hot topic. All right. Now, before I go any deeper into talking about brokering, I do want you guys to know and understand that there's a big difference between brokering and dispatching. Do we understand that? There's a huge difference between brokering and dispatching. If you look at it, about like what are you actually doing, which is you are booking work for people. Yeah, that is pretty much the same. But brokering and dispatching are different because brokering requires you to be in compliance, honey. It requires you to have you. How the hell do you block people over here now? Don't even remember. Manage? Yes, block. Okay. So, Don't remember what I was just saying because the blocking took me out. But yes, they're different. So dispatching, you don't have the operating authority. Dispatching, you are not able to just book the loads on your own. You need a company with an operating authority. Oh, you found me on YouTube? Okay, well, hello there. Hello and welcome. All right, so now that I've kind of gone through all of those things, honey, let's get back to the brokering. So the brokering requires you to have an operating authority. So that's the one thing I don't like about it. However, as we discuss on my Instagram page all the time, the money is in the operating authority, honey. Because when you have the operating authority, you are in control, right? And so that is my favorite part of it. You literally are able to be in control of the money. And what I mean by that is, if you work for a broker, every time you run a load for the broker, the check is going to come to the broker. The broker is going to take their money off the top, and then they are going to pay you. So if you're running loads for Walmart, right, and you work for the BlackSmallBiz brokerage, I'm getting the work from Walmart. I have the contract. I have the work with Walmart, right? But you want to work for Walmart and you don't have that direct relationship. So you can work through me. So I'm going to broker the loads. Walmart's going to give me that load for $1,000. And I might say, hey, Diva, I can't see everything. Diva, do you want to run this load? I'll pay you $800. So I'll keep the $200 and I'll pay Diva the $800. So Diva's going to go out there. She's going to run the load. She's going to send me the paperwork back. I'm going to submit it for payment. And when the check comes, the check from Walmart comes to BlackSmallBiz. And BlackSmallBiz is going to put the $200 to the side because that's mine. And then we're going to cut a check over to Diva. That's the broad level of how this shit works. Okay? Now, the best part of brokering, in my opinion, is that the check, the big check, the large number, comes into your bank account. So that $1,000 is coming into your bank account, right? Even though you are paying out $800, when it comes to utilizing business credit, when it comes to getting funding and stuff, they're going to look at that $1,000. They're not going to just look at the $200 that you kept. They're going to look and say, oh, $1,000 came in, but they had a business related expense for a subcontractor of $800. But the company made $1,000 and everybody has expenses. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Put a 3 in the chat if you are still with me and you understand what I'm saying here. So the best part for me is that you can get all the coins flowing through your account. And even though you are going to pay out the money to the owner operators, you get to leverage the money that came into your account. And the most important thing that you can do, no matter what business you are in, is to learn how to leverage every aspect of that business that you possibly can. Okay? Does that make sense? You have to leverage every part of your business to be successful. My problem with the trucking industry is that the only way people are leveraging their trucking business is by running the damn truck for loads. It goes well beyond that. People get an operating authority, and the only way they're leveraging the operating authority is by running loads. Why? Because every major business that we know out here does more than one damn thing. Can we agree on that? When you go to the gas station, most gas stations don't only sell gas. When you go to the movie theater doesn't only sell movies. When you go to the store to buy clothes, they don't just sell clothes, they also sell accessories. Every other freaking industry understands the importance of going beyond just running the load, except for this one. So for me, brokering is huge because even though it still requires someone to run the load, it's stepping outside of that tunnel vision. Okay? Now, the second reason why I love brokering is because half of it is, yes, you get to leverage all the coins that come in, but more importantly, it's with less risk. Yes, you do still have an operating authority, but guess what you're not going to have? You're not going to have no truck payment. You're not going to have the huge insurance policy that covers the truck, right? You're not going to have to worry about a driver because you're brokering. So the thing that you have to worry about is, do I have shippers that I can get work from? And do I have carriers that I can dispatch this work out to? That's what you care about with brokering. And then from there, you have to worry, like, do I have quality shippers and do I have quality carriers? And as long as you're working with quality people and quality companies, then everything should be able to work to where you can collect your coins. But you don't have the motor carrier operating authority, meaning you're running your own truck. All of that mess is not on you. That burden, that stress that comes along with running loads in traditional trucking is not on you when it comes to brokering, right? So I think it's a fantastic option if you want to get into this industry. As a matter of fact, I would prefer that. I don't know if I should say that. I need to think about that longer before I say that. But there's a lot more people out here who need to consider brokering than buying a damn truck. That's the gist of what I was going to say. There's a lot more people out here who should consider brokering as opposed to buying a truck. Because buying a truck is expensive. And I'm not talking about just paying for the truck itself. Maintaining and running a traditional trucking business is too damn expensive. It's too many moving parts for the average person who doesn't know anything about trucking. Okay? So that is why I like brokering. Live it, love it. Okay? All of that. Let me see. Someone asked me a question about minority certification. I will answer your question in a minute. Do you guys have any questions about brokering? By the way, again, on July 29th, I'm hosting a live masterclass. It's going to be a long one because I want y'all to get your questions answered. And I'm going to go into detail about everything that I have to share with you guys about brokering. Okay? It's going to be a $94 class. The link is BlackSmallBiz.com/brokering. BlackSmallBiz.com/brokering. TikTok, Instagram. If you guys want, you can DM me to get the link. So just DM me brokering, or you could type that link in and I will send it to you. I'm only letting 5 people in for $97. After those 5 people, is going up to $197. So BlackSmallBiz.com/brokering, or DM me the word brokering. The first 5 people will get in for $97, and after that, the price increases to $197. The system automatically increases the price. So if you come to the page and it says $197, that means the first 5 got taken. Okay. The class is on June 29th. It starts at 12 p.m. I'm blocking off between 12 and 4 because I'm going to tell y'all right now, I talk a lot. I'm very detailed in my class, and I try to make sure I answer all your questions. If any of y'all have ever been on any class of mine, you know I'm not lying. Let the people know. So I am letting you know. Did I say June, honey? I meant July. Did I say June? July 29th. It's a Friday. 12 p.m. is when we're starting. There will be a replay. You will get access to the replay within 24 hours. So by Saturday the 30th, you will have access to the replay, right? And you do not lose access. I know that's going to be the next question. How long do we have access to it? I ain't got time to be removing access. When you buy something from me, honey, you bought it, okay? You can log in and access it as long as I'm still alive, honey, and I got that site running, okay? Now, let me see. I have questions. Do you have a list of things that we would need to start? Yes. Okay, let me tell you guys the things that we're going to cover. And I need to pull up my list because I might forget something. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the company setup. That's why this is Brokering 101. We're going to talk about from the bare bones. Now, if y'all already got a company started, fantastic, wonderful for you. But we're going to go bare bones with this. So we're going to talk about the company setup. And not just registering your business, but also you got to get set up with DOT. Remember the thing that I told y'all I didn't want to do? So you got to get set up with DOT, and you also have to get your bonding. So we're going to talk about that stuff, the actual company setup and the compliance. Then we're going to do your internal processes and best practices. So what I mean by that is the things that you need to set up, the processes, the operations that you need to set up inside of your own company, right? Who's responsible for the taxes? Okay, that's a good question. I'm going to tell you in a second. Hold on. All right, so you are going to, we're going to go over your internal setup, your internal best practices, right? So we're talking about, how you're going to, onboard your owner operators. What paperwork, what documents are you going to have them sign, right? What agreements are you going to put in place? We're going to give you samples of those, right? The next thing we're going to do is your carrier processes and best practices. So there's internal stuff you're going to need to have set up and that you're going to need to be on top of. And then there's also the external stuff, which is what is your owner operator going to be responsible for? What are the things that you're going to need to have them doing in order for this to run smoothly, right? And then we're going to talk about the tools. And I mean, there is going to be like some software you might want to use. I'm going to give you some recommendations. I will provide you guys with, if you want to be bare bones basic like I was, I will even give you the spreadsheet that I was using when I was brokering, because honey, there wasn't a bunch of those apps back then, right? And then, yes, I'm going to give you guys the tools, whether it's the links, the download, spreadsheet, all the stuff that you would need. Okay. And then also we're going to talk about the brokering mindset, because there's definitely going to have to be a mindset shift. I had to do it, and I was running my dad's company before I ever started brokering on my own, right? So even if you're already in this industry, there's kind of like a mindset shift that you have to have, especially if you're in trucking and you're doing other things. Like if you're an owner operator, you cannot run your brokering or your brokerage the same in the same thought process. You just got to think about things differently. Okay. So again, we're going to do the company setup and the compliance. We're going to talk about your internal processes, the things that you need to have in place inside of your brokerage, right? Then we're going to talk about the stuff that you have to do in relation to your carrier. So the best practices and the processes as it relates to your carriers that you're going to hire. I actually have to say carriers and shippers. It's not just the carriers. Best practices for your carriers and shippers, right? Then we're going to talk about the tools that you're going to need, how you're going to use those tools. And then also we're going to talk about that mindset shift. And this mindset shift is all about making sure that you are always leveraging every aspect, and more importantly, thinking the way that you need to think. It's not always about the money, y'all. But it can be deceiving when you're brokering, because it's like, well, how is it not about the money? So we're going to talk about all of that to set you guys up for success when it comes to brokering. So again, that's on, this says 97. I'm pretty sure I changed it to 94. Did I lie to y'all? Oh, no, it's 94. Okay, so July 29th, 12 to 4 p.m., it's $94 for the first 5 people. And after that, it goes up to $197. Okay. Now let me scroll back up and see. Let me answer this question. So on Instagram, they want to know who's responsible for the taxes. And I think that's a fabulous question. So when you are as the brokerage, right? So, and I said, okay, so the load is $1,000 and you are going to keep 200 and you're going to pay Diva 800, right? So let's just say that was your year, the number for the year. You did $1,000 total income into your business. You obviously are going to report that, right? However, the $800 that you paid out to Diva in order for her to run the load, that is an expense. You paid that out to a subcontractor. So even though you brought in the $1,000, you only kept the $200. So your owner operator is going to be responsible for the taxes on that $800, and you're going to be responsible on the taxes of that $200. So that's, again, this is a part of your best practices, because you need to be keeping track. You got to make sure that you know exactly what's coming in and exactly what has been paid out, right? So that was a very good question. Let's see if you can't make the live stream. Listen, okay, let me read the question and then I'm going to answer it. The question is, if you can't make it live, will you be selling the replay? Yes. Whether you attend live or not, you will get the replay. So if you know that you want this class, buy it now because there's 4 more left at $94. Buy it now so that you can lock in the lower price. And then you're going to get the replay even if you don't attend live. Maybe I'll be on during your lunch break and you can sneak in. But whether you attend live or not, if you purchase, you're going to get the replay by Saturday the 30th. And you're going to be able to watch it as many times as you need. Okay? All of the documents, any of the tools and all of that stuff that I give to you guys, all of that stuff will be uploaded and available for you to review. I'm sorry, I know it's a Friday, but one of the things that I always do, let's see. Oh, I like your username, Sweet Little Grinch. One of the things that I always do is whenever I host a class like this, I always host an additional Q&A session, okay? So if you're not able to attend live on July 29th, about a week after that, you will be able to attend the Q&A. So you'll have time to consume the replay. And even if you can't attend the Q&A live, you will be able to submit your questions so that I can answer them. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Good morning, Damika. How are you? Again, the link for that is BlackSmallBiz.com/brokering. BlackSmallBiz.com/brokering. I have 4 more slots available at $94. We're covering company setup and compliance, internal processes, carrier and shipper processes, your tools that you're going to need, and your brokering mindset shift, because that's a big deal. You like my locks? Or are you hating on my locks? Because you never know with these chats. Danica, you need this class. Danica, Danica, do not pay for this class because you're already in my mentorship. So you know that you already get this class, right? Right, Danica? Danica? You already get this class, so do not buy it. But it is going to be on the 29th. Okay? Any questions? Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm starting to love them too because, honey, they were short and I was giving mushroom head. Let's see. Can these same techniques be used with local trucking? I want to start. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's a good question. I like that. So I hate my biz bestie. Every time somebody asks her a question, she says, that's a good question. And I'm like, will you stop saying that? And now here I go. Oh, that's a good question. Oh, that's a good question. All right. So can these same techniques be used with local trucking? Yes. So when I was brokering, guess what I was brokering? I was brokering dump trucks first. That's local stuff, right? They ain't going a long distance. Most of the shit that we did was less than 100-mile radius of our garaging location, right? So yes, it's possible. You can do this. And it's one of the things we're going to talk about. Okay. So I have diarrhea of the mouth and I don't ever know when to shut up. So y'all are welcome. But one of the things we're going to talk about is I don't want y'all going out here and trying to broker for any and everything that got wheels. Right? So let's see. Soul on Indigo. Is that your name? I love the question that you have because you are trying to niche down. You're trying to be specific. You do not want to go out here and do this for every kind of vehicle. If you want to do Sprinter vans, then you start with Sprinter vans and you really learn this system for the Sprinter vans. If you want to do box trucks, learn this system with the box trucks and really understand how you're going to operate. Like I said, you need to know your internal processes. You need to know the processes that you are going to do with your carriers and your shippers. So you want to get all of this stuff in place and running like a well-oiled machine before you venture off and doing 100 other types of loads. Because every type of load that you're going to book, every type of equipment that you're going to run with, they have different nuances, right? So when I was brokering dump trucks, I had that shit like this, okay? I could do that in my sleep, and I literally was, okay? However, when I moved over and I started to deal with the semi-trucks, when I tell you I was effing up the church's money, there were so many things I did not know. Like, what the hell? What's a lumper? Nobody ever told me I needed to pay a lumper. Sent this driver out there. The driver didn't have no cash. It was a whole ordeal, right? So different types of load, different types of equipment are going to require a different skill set. So I highly recommend you pick one type of trucking company and zone in on that and figure out all your processes and your tools and everything. And then once you got that down, then you can add other stuff. So whether you want to go with local runs for box trucks or sprinter vans, or you want to do dump trucks, whatever it is, pick your lane and you're going to pretty much stick with it. Okay. Do you need more than one type of insurance? For brokering, you're going to need to have, well, every company that you want to work for is going to tell you what you need. Okay. So we talked about that yesterday. I highly recommend you go check out my YouTube channel. I'm BlackSmallBiz on every platform. Yesterday, I did a live stream and I talked about insurance for trucking companies. So you should check that one out. Do you have a list of, okay, I already answered that one. We talked about the techniques for local. Let me keep scrolling. I didn't forget about the minority certification sold on Indigo. I did not forget you. I didn't forget you so far, but you definitely have to. How you know I'm gone, friend? You checking my location? Or did I tell you I was gone? Because, girl, I'm in Ocean City right now. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I think I answered that. What about sprinter vans? Okay, I answered. Okay, do you guys have any last questions? Again, the link will be in my bio, but it's not right now. You can DM me the word brokering. Oh, okay. That makes sense. DM me. Dion, can you go check my flowers? I don't know when I'm coming home. DM me the word brokering if you want the link. But if you don't want to wait, because, honey, you want to get one of the first 5 slots, which are down to 4, you need to go to blacksmallbiz.com/brokering. Let's see. This has been great. Can't stay. Honey, get to that job, honey. Thank you for joining. Make sure you're following me. Honey, tap the screen. I got 71 likes over here. Did I give y'all some good info today? Yes or no? Tap the screen, give me some hearts, and let these platforms know that I have some good tea to share with y'all. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to. But I haven't watered them since, let's see. What day did we leave? We left Thursday. I watered them Thursday morning. Has it been raining there at all? Oh, it's raining today? Okay, good. I put them out. All right, let's see. Not good morning. What are we drinking? Okay, let me see. Let's see. We are drinking water. My infamous water cup is back. You must be a real true follower. Only my real true, hey, Blackberry Sage, only my real true followers come in the door and say, what we drinking? Okay, let's see. Thank you, Dion. Okay, I'm glad that it's going to be raining because I was stressing out about my cantaloupe, honey. Just stressing. All right, do you guys have any more questions for me? Any more questions for me? Oh, and while I'm waiting to see if you have any more questions, Soul on Indigo, are you still here? Sheldon. Okay, I was about to say, I know you a real follower. I gotta follow you on that page, Sheldon. Can I do that while I'm live? Because I follow you. I think I follow you on Instagram, but I don't think I follow you over here. Here we go. Follow. Boom. Got you. All right. So, yes, friend. And, okay, we're not going to have a whole garden conversation on this here live stream. So, I'm going to FaceTime you and we'll have the garden conversation. Because I think that the cantaloupes that are in the little ones, they're not going to grow like the other one until we take them out. And I know you already know that because you're well versed, honey, but I'm just learning. So, be excited that I learned that. Okay? All right. So, I want to talk to you guys about the minority certification because Soul on Indigo asked really quickly. But again, before we end this live stream, honey, make sure you go and you click the link. No, there's no link. Make sure you go to blacksmallbiz.com/brokering. The class is on July 29th from 12 to about 4. I do have a mentorship. I'll answer that question in just a second. So Soul on Indigo wanted to know about minority certification. So very quickly, if you don't know what minority certification is, it is a government program that helps small business owners like you and me be able to leverage. Okay, can you type it in the chat for me again, just in case I forget? It helps to level the playing field so that small companies like mine and yours will be able to get access to these larger government contracts that we normally would not have access to, right? So I always use the example, you ask your mom, can you go to the mall? Your mom says, yes, only if you take your little sister with you, right? In this story, the mom is going to be the government. You are going to be a major corporation that always wins these huge government contracts. And then the little sister is someone like me and you who has a small business, and we might not got 20 trucks to fulfill this contract, right? So what happens is the mom says, if you want the contract to go to the mall, then you got to bring your little sister with you to show her how to act at the mall, right? So the minority and small business certification programs are all about helping small business owners like us be able to learn the ropes of performing government contracts, right? So that we can graduate into getting our own contracts. Now, the certification process, you got to fill out an application. You have to go through several phases of an application process to get it, but you can use the certification far beyond far beyond government contracts. Again, if you want more details into that, I highly recommend you go over to my YouTube channel. I have several videos posted about the minority certification. And also I have a workshop in the link in my bio. There's a replay because July's workshop is already booked, but you can get an instant access to the replay where you can do the application. We go line by line by line. So click the link in my bio if you want more information about that, or go over to my YouTube channel. Okay. All right, let's see. Sweet Little Grinch. Oh, and make sure when you come on the class, you tell me that you're Sweet Little Grinch, because I just love that username. Oh, okay. I see your question. Is that Mellow? Okay. Give me a second. And I answered about the minority certification. All right. The question about the mentorship. I have a mentorship. My mentorship is called the Married to Trucking Mentorship. Do you have to be married? No. But it's called the Married to Trucking Mentorship because my goal is to help people like me who are the spouses, the daughter of, the close family member of someone who has a trucking company. I use this title kind of as a double entendre because I always think I'm cool when I'm trying to come up with titles, because most people are married to a trucking company. Most people cannot see themselves, once they get started, they can't see themselves letting the trucking company go, even though it's draining their asses. I mean, their whole life savings is gone. They done cashed out their 401k. They using their mortgage money, honey, to pay for the daggone trucking business, but they will not leave it. They married to it, right? So my goal is to help with my truckless coin strategy, to help with my minority certification knowledge, to help you guys create multiple income streams in the trucking industry. We're not just focusing on running them trucks for loads, because it goes far beyond that, right? So that's what my mentorship is about. It's a 12-month mentorship. We meet every single Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then when I have various one-off classes, like I had an affiliate class last month, we're doing the minority certification this weekend, I think, if they're still coming. And then we have the brokering class. Everyone in my mentorship gets access to everything I do for the whole year. Okay. So if you're interested in joining my mentorship, you need to click the link in my bio. It says Married to Trucking Mentorship. I require that you at least have an operating authority. Okay. You need to have an operating authority, or you need to be pursuing the brokering authority, because in order to take advantage of everything that I'm teaching you, you need to have the operating authority, because that's how I created this program. This program was created from us having the operating authority and me just figuring out, okay, look, the truck ain't running. We got to make some coins. You see what I'm saying? So that's what my mentorship is all about. Okay, now, Mellow Bob wants to know, I have a trucking authority, but no truck to activate it. All right, D'Amica, I'm pausing, so you know what that means. Well, friends, if you're new to me, anytime I take a pause, I'm pondering. Do I answer this question? And if I answer this question, is this legal? Is my response legal, or is it going to send someone to jail? So, I'll answer the question, and honey, you got to do what you got to do. But don't come crying to me about nothing afterwards. Okay, so here's the deal. I am the queen of loopholes. Do I recommend this? I'm going to tell you why I don't recommend it, but I'm going to tell you how to do it because you want to know. Okay, and then I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't do or when you should not use this. Okay, so I'm going to tell y'all my story one time. I'm not going to repeat it because when I tell y'all to do shit you might not supposed to be doing, I don't repeat it. So you better be listening up. If you listening, put a 1 in the chat. I'm going to tell y'all a story of one time I needed to activate one of my authority, and I was about to buy the truck, but I didn't buy it yet, and I ain't had time to wait because I was trying to secure the contract. I needed the contract, and they didn't care that I didn't have the truck yet. So here's what I did. I had a old truck that was sitting in the yard. I don't even think the damn thing had wheels or an engine in it. But guess what it did have? A VIN number. So I put that truck on my quote to start the policy, even though I knew the damn thing wasn't going to go nowhere. And in that instance, I made sure, I talk mad shit about people who only get the $750,000 in auto liability because you ain't going to get no real contracts, no real work with that little bit of insurance. So in this case, since I knew the truck wasn't going to move, I put it as low as possible, which was the $750, to get that operating authority active. That got me active. And then afterwards, when I bought the actual truck that we were using, I replaced that truck with the old one that was on my policy. Now, what would be the problem with doing that? You obviously don't have access to a truck. So let's say you call Jim Bob and say, hey, Jim Bob, let me get your VIN number. Well, now you have a policy on a truck, and if something happens to that truck and they try to pay out on it, then you got to deal with it. And also, if there's anything, if a claim comes in, your policy, they could not renew it, or it could be much higher. Okay? So you run the risk of trying to put some random truck on there. Unless it's sitting and dilapidated like mine was, you could run the risk of all kinds of things happening, right? The number one reason why I would recommend you don't do that, though, is because in order to get your operating authority active, you have to have the insurance policy. And if you don't have the insurance policy, it's not going to go active, right? Now, what you're talking about, if you do what I did, you are going to have a policy that you got to pay for every month until you do get a truck and the truck runs. So you're going to come out of pocket for that policy. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Are you guys still with me? Okay? So it's 2 reasons why you might not want to do that. 1, because you could have a claim pop off, right? And then 2, okay, you are going to be paying for that insurance. And if you let your insurance lapse, your operating authority will be revoked. Okay? So the only reason why I did that is because I knew that the truck was on its way. And I also knew that I could afford to pay it if the truck took too long and I had to pay that month after month. It was okay. Okay? So there's my loophole that I probably wasn't supposed to tell y'all. But there we have it. All right, let me see. Somebody asked me about, is minority? No, they're not the same. And I'm not going to say good question. Okay, so they're not the same. So the question is, are minority certification, hi Ray Ray, are minority certification and the 8A certification the same? They are not. So first of all, let me just tell y'all this. The minority certification, not every state has minority certification. I say that because it's a buzzword and it's going to catch your attention. But the reality of it is that it's called the DBE certification. Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. You like my earrings? Y'all know I love me some good obnoxious ass earrings, okay? The bigger the better with my short neck. Anyways, the 8A certification program is administered through the Small Business Administration. The DBE program that I really have y'all applying for, that is administered through all 50 states through the DOT offices, okay? So the DOT offices administer the DBE certification. If you go through and you get the DBE certification, you can use that certification to help you get other ones. Now, I don't know if this is the correct way to explain this, but it's going to make sense to you, and this is why I explain it this way. The DBE certification is like, I like to say it's like a federal type of certification because all 50 states have access to it, right? It's administered through DOT because all 50 states have the DOT, right? So the minority certification, each state is going to have additional certifications that they offer. So like in Virginia, they have SWAM, which is Small Women and Minority Owned Businesses. California, I think they have something called PUC. North Carolina doesn't have a minority certification. They have hub zones, HUB, right? So you got to go DBE first, in my opinion. This would be my order of certifications. I would get the DBE certification first. And then I would use that DBE certification to then apply for and get all the other certifications that are available to me. Then I would pursue the 8A certification. Now, here's the reason why. The 8A certification has a time limit on it. You got 9 years to use that bad boy. So let's say you say, I want to start today. And I don't know shit about government contracts, but I'm going to go get this 8A certification. Now you wasting your 9 years learning shit. No, don't do that. Get the DBE certification. Get your feet wet. Understand, take advantage of all the workshops and stuff that they have to teach you how to bid on contracts, how to perform on contracts. They got all kinds of information that will help you along the way. And then you can crawl before you walk to the big boy certification, right? Because I feel like that 8A is the holy grail. So if you can come through and you tackle these smaller certifications and you learn your way, then when it's time for you to get your 8A certification, even though they do give you help, you'll be more prepared. Okay? So the answer is no, they're not the same, but I would focus on the minority and or DBE certifications first before you go after the 8A. Because when that 9-year time clock hits, I want you leveraging every part of the 8A that you possibly can. Okay? Any more questions? I think there are 3 more brokering classes available at 94. Can I dispatch trucks on a load board under an unactivated authority? Nobody's going to give you a load. If they give you a load, they a janky company and they might not even pay your ass. So the question is, I have an operating authority. It's not active. And will I be able to go on a load board and book it? So I'm going to answer this and say abso-freaking-lutely. You can go over to the load board all you want and book it. Now, most people are going to tell you, are you crazy? You don't have an active authority, right? The other thing is some load boards won't even let you get past the registration page because it's like, oh, your authority isn't active. Then there's going to be people who don't care that your operating authority isn't active. Because they rebels. That's what we call them, me and the Bay. They rebels. But, again, if somebody is willing to work you if somebody's willing to work you even though you don't have an active operating authority, they running a janky ship and you could run the risk of not getting paid. Because if you're willing to run without that operating authority, that means you're willing to do anything, in my opinion. So, there's that. There's that. Any more questions? Okay, I don't see any over here. And none over here. All right, it doesn't seem like there's any more questions. Was this helpful for you guys? No, the class isn't full. It's just that after the first 5 seats, the price is it doubling? The price goes from $94 to $197. Do you have to have an operating authority to operate a Sprinter van? I don't know the actual answer to that question. I would say this. It's not necessarily always about the type of vehicle that you have, whether you need an operating authority or not. So for example, we needed an operating authority because we were operating box trucks, dump trucks, tractor trailers, right? All these large commercial vehicles. But there are box trucks that do not require you to have a CDL. You know, there's box trucks that do require you to have a CDL. There's box trucks that require you to have an operating authority, and then there's box trucks that don't. But guess what? My mechanic had a pickup truck. They required him to have an operating authority because of stuff that he had on the pickup truck, right? So it's not always about the kind of vehicle that you have. It also can be about the kind of work that you are doing with the vehicle too. So although a regular person can go and buy a Sprinter van and they don't need an operating authority, if the work that you want to get requires it, then you need that operating authority. Okay? So sometimes it's not a blanket answer based off of your type of equipment. Oh, now listen, if you didn't ask the question and I missed it, you need to retype it in the chat, because I swore I scrolled, honey, and I did not see nothing. I'm scrolling. Let's see, this has been great. No. Okay, type it in the chat again for me, Big Boss, because I scrolled to the last time I scrolled and I don't see it. Can you type it for me again? I'm sorry. Let's see. Are these Zoom? Yes, these are Zoom. So the classes are held via Zoom. You get the link. I send the link out like 5 times, okay? And then after the class is over, it would be uploaded to my membership portal, and you'll be able to watch the replay, download any documents, click any links that I provide, all that stuff, okay? And if you're not able to attend live, you will get the replay. And then again, I almost always, I'm not even going to say always, I know for this class, I'm definitely going to have a second session, which will be a Q&A. Now, normally I space them out about a week, but my kids start school the week following. So this one might be a 2-week turnaround time for the Q&A. Oh, shoot. Oh, listen, you think I know what I'm doing. That's the problem, Big Boss. You thought that I knew what I was doing. I saw that thing pop up and I didn't know what that was. So let me click it. Let me click it, okay? I didn't know what that was. Oh, okay, because I saw some things that were not appropriate, but those were from my stories. Wait, I don't see anything here. I'm not even kidding. I clicked on the questions button, and these are all responses to a shady story I put up. So please type it. I don't see it over here because I can't even read these out loud. Instagram might block me. Okay. Bought my training, and my husband has a dump truck and a box truck looking for... Oh, yes. Okay, good. See, you know, I love the dump trucks. Jeanette, now, I'm kind of old. I do not remember what I was saying, so you're going to have to tell me what you asking about. Jeanette says, how would you know? I don't even remember what I was talking about when you asked that question, so if you could refresh my memory, because I'm going to... All right, how much knowledge? I don't know how to answer that question. How much knowledge is needed for a brokerage class? You mean like prior knowledge about trucking? None. Is that what you mean? Do you have to have experience or knowledge about the trucking industry for my brokerage class? Is that what you're asking me? If so, none. It's very beginner friendly. It's a 101. It's brokering 101. So we're going to talk about it from the granular level. That's why I said it's going to be some hours, because I want to go in detail. Yes. Okay, that's what I thought you were asking, but honey, I had to make sure, because sometimes my mind be all over the place. Okay, so I don't understand your question, Mello. All right, so will the carrier let you know if you need an authority? Yes. So when you go and you have a truck and you want to work for somebody, they have something called a carrier packet. Okay? The carrier, it might be a new hire packet. It could be called many different things, but I call them carrier packets. And the carrier packets ask you questions. They are the equivalent of a job application. Okay? They're the, hi, Vivian. Is that Vivian? Wait, Vivian. Is that your Vivian Nelson? Is that your last name, Nelson? Do you have another page? Am I tripping? Okay, sorry. See, that's why I need to focus, because my mind. Oh, all right. So the carrier packet, it's a job application for your trucking company. So when you go, good morning, when you go and you log on to a company, you say, hey, I want to work for you. They're going to give you a carrier packet, and it's going to ask you, what's your tax ID number? What's your company name, address? Who's the point of contact? It's going to ask you a bunch of questions, but it's also going to give you your information. Like, how are they expecting you to submit your invoices? They are asking, they are telling you how you will be paid and when. They're telling you when they want the invoices submitted. When do they want the tickets submitted? They're telling you, do they need you to send a picture of the BOL? Like, they break everything down for you. And the most important page of the carrier packet is the page where they give you your insurance requirements. The insurance requirements, and then the page that you fill out your answers about your business. If you see a line item and they ask you for an MC number, or you see a line item and they ask you for a DOT number, then you are going to need to have an operating authority. Does that make sense? If you're filling out the packet and you get to the insurance page and it says, it has all these coverages, $1 million in auto liability, cargo coverage, general liability. If it has all those different coverages, typically, not always, but typically, you're going to know that you need an operating authority. And let me tell you something. When in doubt, honey, get on the phone, call them and ask. Okay? And let me just tell you this. Anytime I get on the phone and call somebody and ask, I hang up and I call back. The first time I might call back and I'm BJ. And the next time I call back, I might be Chloe. And the next time I call back, I might be Courtney. And if I have to call back and go down the whole list of Kardashian names, I will, in order to get my question answered. But more importantly, to make sure that it is answered properly. Because if I call back and I go through the whole list of Kardashian names and each time I got a different answer, something's wrong. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Okay. Any last questions? Thank you guys again for the hearts. Please tap the screen. Let these people know that I'm helping out. Okay, let these people know that they need to share my live stream. All right, so I just got a little disturbing text message about a flat tire. So I'm going to have to end this live stream. But before I do, please guys, was the information here today helpful? Did you learn something new? Did you get something out of our time together? Because some of y'all been here the whole time I've been live. It's been almost an hour, so I appreciate you. But did you learn something? If you learned something, are you going to tell somebody about me? Because sharing is caring. That's what my biz bestie says. Okay? Sharing is caring. Make sure you are following me. Honey, I'm trying to get my YouTube page up to 1,000 followers. Please go to all your social media profiles, look for BlackSmallBiz, and follow me, pretty please. And thank you. I'd greatly appreciate that. Don't forget, you guys, all of the things that we talked about, except for the brokering class, the links are in my bio. So if you want to book a one-on-one consult with me, the link's in my bio. If you want to learn how to make money in the trucking industry without having to run a truck, please click the link in my bio and grab the Truckless Coins program. If you want to get your company minority certified, this works for the majority of companies out there, not just trucking companies. Yes, Vivian, I'll see you Wednesday, honey. Vivian is also in my mentorship, okay? The minority certification program, that link is in my bio. You do not have to have a trucking company to get that certification. That I think is okay. So Truckless Coins is $97. The minority certification workshop is $197, and the Married to Trucking mentorship, the link is in there. I don't even know how much that is. I feel like that might be $13.97 for the year, for 12 months. I don't remember, something like that. And then last but not least, if you want to join the brokering class, BlackSmallBiz.com/brokering or DM me brokering. I stopped keeping track. There might be 1 or 2 more of the brokering classes left at $94. The price will increase to $197 after that last promo one is sold, okay? So click the link, or not click the link, but type it in blacksmallbiz.com/brokering or DM me, and then when I end this live stream, I will go over and give you guys the link, okay? So again, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it, because honey, you could be anywhere in the world, but you here with little old me. So thank you, and I will catch you guys. I ain't gonna lie and say tomorrow, because if I say I'm coming back tomorrow, I probably won't come back. So I'll catch y'all soon. Turn your notifications on so you know when I'm live. Okay, bye. Oh my God, well, I can't end this. Oh, there we go. Bye, y'all.